Good morning, friends. Welcome in NET-JRF Academy. Let's solve Jan 2025 UGC NET question. Question number 83. The law of burial denoted the study of sediment, depos- deposited of animal remains, weathering of rocks, and patinations of stone tool. Law of burial denoted the study of The correct option is deposited of animal remains. So correct option is second. Let's move on the next question. Frugivores are the animal that eat a diet composed mainly of. Basically, question is asking what the meaning of frugivores. Flesh eating, leaves eating, fruits eating, nuts eating. Basically, this topic is belong to unit 2 and the correct option is fruit. The fruit eating primates is called, our animal is called frugivores. The flesh eating animal is called carnivorous. Carnivore. Leaves eating animal is called folivore. This is a very simple information, but when they ask in examination it's become difficult. Fruit is called frugivorous, and nuts eating is called granivore. So correct option is 3. Let's move on the next question. The painted people are known from the archaeological tradition of painted people. We already know the trick of, let's see, Azilian, Turdinosians, Meglemosians, and Kitchen Maiden. All are belong from Mesolithic culture. All are belong from Mesolithic culture. Mesolithic culture in Europe. Mesolithic culture in Europe. From unit 6. So the correct option is Azilian. How? The trick was ATM and then KN. कन. ATM कन यानी कम होता है तो हम ATM जाते हैं. ए से एजिलियन, टी से टर्डेनोशियन, एम से मैग्लेमोशियंस, के से किचन मिडल, एन से नतूफियन कल्चर. So basically Azilian culture was the first culture of Mesolithic times, and in this culture painted peoples were found. So that's the correct option is 1. Let's move on the next question. Neanderthal burial are associated with. Neanderthal burial are associated with stone coffin, red or powder, fellow companions, earthen pot, and wreath of the flowers. So first, what we know about the Neanderthal? Basically, they belong to upper Paleolithic culture, and they follow Mousterian culture. And stone coffin was related to Gravettian culture. अपन नहीं, ये मिडिल पैलियोलिथिक होगा. Middle Paleolithic, because the Gravettian culture is upper Paleolithic culture. So they follow red orc poetry. Yes, powder. This option is correct. Fellow companion. Yes, they are Neanderthal were very popular for their companions. So second option is correct. And wreath of the flowers. Yes, Sometimes Neanderthal burial was buried with different types of the flowers. So flowers, and earthen pot was not found. Earthen pot was not found with Neanderthal burial. So correct option is B, C and E. B, C and E. Correct option is 2. So let's move on the next question. Natufian. Okay. Natufian were. Natufian were. Natufian were. We already know the Natufian culture is belong to last Mesolithic culture. Last Mesolithic culture. A, T, M, and then Kitchen Maiden and Natufian. So this was the last culture of Mesolithic. Natufian. Let's see the options. Mammoth hunter, semi-sedentary society, exploiter of wild emmer and barley, user of bone stick with the blunt blades, and sculptura of three-dimensional art. We already discussed about three-dimensional art is not found that times, so we can eliminate easily option E. So we have or other 2-3 options. So let's see. B is common in all. B is common in all. Okay. And C is common in 2. Mammoth hunting, semi-sedentary society, exploitator of wild emmer and barley. This option is found because there were 2 types of, this option. Emmer. This was a wild variety of wheat. Wild variety of wheat that was grow by Natufian, because Natufian was highly semi-sedentary. So this option is correct. And semi-sedentary society, this one is also correct. B correct, C correct, and D correct. यूज ऑफ द बोन सिकल्स, क्योंकि एमर को उगाने के बाद वो काटते भी थे. एमर वीट होता था और वीट की कटिंग्स के लिए वो लोग यूज़ करते थे सिकल सेल. शायद गांव में हसिया वगैरह बोलते हैं, आई डोंट नो. सो दे आर यूजिंग दिस टाइप ऑफ हसिया, that is bone sickle, is made by bone sickle and fine blades, and 3 dimension is not found. So B, C, D, according to these options, option 4 is correct. So let's move on the next question. The middle Paleolithic industry of arid zone India is known as, okay, they give the hint, middle Paleolithic industry in arid zone in India. Indus from north part, Loni from western part, Saraswati from western part, Sohan from north part. So basically arid zone is a clear cut evidence from Loni river. Work by V.N. मिश्रा. राजस्थान की जितनी भी साइट हैं सब पे V.N. मिश्रा ने वर्क किया था. एंड गुजरात की जितनी भी साइट हैं उस पे द वर्क बाय H.D. संकालिया. एग्जाम्पल लोथल. So correct option is 2. Let's move on the next question. V.N. मिश्रा. मिश्रा की स्पेलिंग देख लेना आप लोग. MISHRA. मिश्रा. Okay, it's a correct. Let's move on the next question. The study of site formations process include. Before these examinations, UGC never ask about the single questions about site formations, but this time they starting asking question about site formations. Study of sediment, taphonomy, landscaping, archaeometry, and geometry. if we have uh, clear cut concept, then we are easily identify study of sediments. So it is very easy. Site formation is directly related to study of sediment. Taphonomy. What is taphonomy? Taphonomy, the process of transport biological remain. The process of transport, the process of transport biological remain, biological remain, biological remain from biosphere to from biosphere to lithosphere. Lithosphere. So according to this is also correct. And landscaping. Landscaping is also correct. Archaeometry is a not used directly used in site formations process, and geometry is a this is a other branch. It's not a part of site formation. So correct option is 1 ABC. So let's move on the next questions. If you want to know, just know for your knowledge, Natufian culture was studied by Gerold. Gerold, Dorothy Gerold. Dorothy. Sometimes they ask in examinations in matching sections. Dorothy Gerold in 1930. Where? Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel. Where is this place? Israel. Is right. Okay, let's move on the next question. If a researcher monitor how long a person kept laughing after the listening a joke, the data is collections would be involved. Time period sampling, continuous real time sampling, time interval sampling, continuous cluster sampling. This process is going on, so that's why this become continuous real time sampling. Correct option is 2. Let's move on the next question. Are the rule about what the acceptable behavior, ethos, mores, folkways, and norm. Correct option is 4. So let's move on the next question. Okay, again we have to match list 1 to list 2. It's a very repetitive questions in UGC NET examinations. Wind, glacier, lake, and river. First, wind is related to Aeolian, basically dry sand. Glacier is related to moraines. We already know moraine is related to glacier. And lakes is related to verb, and rivers is related to traces. There were 3 types of traces formed by rivers. So correct option is 2, 4. 2, 4. Correct option is 2. So let's move on the next question. Upper Villafranchian is transitionary geological time period between. Upper Villafranchians is transitionary, basically is transitionary phase के बारे में पूछ रहा है. Oligocene, Miocene, Paleocene, Pleistocenes, Paleocene, Pleistocenes, Paleocene, Holocene. Basically, this is a look at here. Correct option is Paleocene and Pleistocene. There were Cenozoic era. There were 2 period: Eon era period, epoch. Okay, Eon era period, epoch. Epoch was the last options. Okay, so Cenozoic era Cenozoic era is the last one. There were two periods. Iron era, there were two era, tertiary era and quaternary era. Quaternary era have period. Which period? Okay, look at here. Tertiary period and quaternary period. Quaternary period, tertiary period. Quaternary period have two epoch. First one is Holocene, and this one is Pleistocene. P-L-E-I. P-L-E-I. Pleistocene. And tertiary period have two zone, Paleocene and Neogene. Paleocene and Neogene. Paleocene have three epoch. First epoch was Pleistocene, then then Eocene, then Oligocene, and Neogene have two. First one is Miocene, and next one is ये होता है हमारा Pleistocene. So in between Pleistocene and Paleocene, the Villafranchian fauna exist. Actually, Villafranchian, why the name is Villafranchian? It's a very important. It's a place found in Italy. That's why it's named Villafranchian. And there were some species categorized under Villafranchian fauna, like a horse, bos, elephantis, camelis, camel, elephant, bos, horse, and some other species categorized under this category. Okay, correct option is 2. Let's move on the next question. Arrange the following bone of body part, their size, longest to smallest. सबसे longest to smallest. So longest bone is femur and smallest bone is sternum. This is clear to all. So longest to smallest. First one is D. We can eliminate this. And smallest is, first one is D. Femur is longest. D के बाद आएगा A. Because humor is second largest. Then sternum C, then B, atlas. Sternum and atlas both are from smallest bone. So atlas is hind foot bone. Atlas is hind foot bone. We already know this is a upper limb bone. Sternum is T-shaped bone, center the chest. T-shaped bone, center the chest. We can arrange upper to lower. First आ जाएगा हमारा Humerus, second sternum, third one femur, then atlas. Okay, so correct option is A. Sorry, 1. Let's move on the next question. Okay, this question is belong to both paper 1 and paper 2. Basically this is related to statistical portion, research portions, variables. We have some method, ratio, ordinal, interval and nominal. Nominal variable just have name of the political party. So one option is D is 1. And ordinal variable, ordinal variable name, what they name and with their categories. So socio-economic status, name with categories. Ratio variable temperature measured in Celsius scale. This is a ratio variable. An interval, temperature measured in Kelvin scale. In ratio scales there were no value of 0, but in interval scale, Kelvin scale, there were 0 have value. So there is difference between ratio and interval. So correct option is 2, 3. फर्स्ट का हो जाएगा 2, सेकंड का हो जाएगा 4. ये तो ऑप्शन नहीं है क्या? जस्ट सेकंड. करेक्ट ऑप्शन 3. सो फर्स्ट का हो जाएगा, ए का हो जाएगा 3. सॉरी, ratio variable is measured in Kelvin and interval variable measured in Celsius. इंटरवल वेरिएबल मेजरिंग एक बार और देख लेते हैं. यहाँ पे रेशियो नेम ऑफ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, ऑर्डिनल सोशियो इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस एंड रेशियो टेम्परेचर मेजर इन सेल्सियस. या ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट. ए का हो गया, ए का हो जाएगा थर्ड. करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज 3. ए का हो जाएगा थर्ड, बी का हो जाएगा फोर्थ, सही है. सी का हो जाएगा सेकेंड. ओके. इन इंटरवल वेरिएबल में मेजर टेम्परेचर इन सेल्सियस. इन ऑर्डिनल वेरिएबल सी का हो गया सेकेंड, सी सेकेंड. So in interval variable measure in Celsius and ordinal variable temperature measure in Kelvin. इसके हिसाब से तो यही है Kelvin. Ratio variable. Okay, let's see again. Sorry, I am little bit. First one, let's see. Ratio, ordinal and nominal. ऑर्डिनल का हो, सबसे पहले हम नॉमिनल का देखेंगे. नॉमिनल का हो गया 1, यानी डी का हो गया 1. सो इसके हिसाब से ऑप्शन 3 ही करेक्ट है. ऑप्शन 3 करेक्ट है, यानी ए का थर्ड, रेशियो का हो जाएगा थर्ड. फिर हमारा ऑर्डिनल का हो जाएगा फोर्थ और इंटरवल का हो जाएगा सेकेंड. दिस इज करेक्ट. ओके, गॉट इट. Okay, let's move on the next question. Arrange the following bone in human as per their locations. देखो क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया ना, as per their location from top to bottom. First one is teres bone, os inmonitum bone, lumbar vertebra, and sternum. Actually I am explaining without the seeing the copy and notebook, so it's sometimes it's I am forget, but most of the time I remember all the questions and answer, don't worry. So arrange the following bone in human as per their location from top to bottom. So we have to arrange top to bottom. Sternum. So first sternum, lumbar, os inmonatum, and tarsus bone. Basically this bone is belong from पैर. ये पैर की bone होती है. So sternum was the first one is sternum. So we can eliminate this option, this option, this option. So correct answer we finally got 3. Second one is C, lumbar, and os, then os inmoninatum, and then A, tarsus bone. So correct option is 3. Let's move on the next question. A.L. Kroiber adopted 2 method. Analyzing phenomena of A.L. Kroiber adopted the 2 method. Scientific approach that destroy the phenomenon as phenomenon by transmuting it into abstract concept. Statical approach, they are entitled to statical interference based on the association. Historical approach that attempt to achieve a descriptive integrations. Comparative method attempt to compare to worldwide phenomena. So A is correct and C is correct because he adopt historical approach. And statical method no, comparative approach no, he not utilize comparative method. In this A and C option are correct. A.L. Kroiber was very important personality in anthropology, and sometimes UGC nets ask questions about him. He studied Arapaho Indian Arapaho Indian, and he developed the concept of organic and superorganic culture. Very important. He developed the concept of, sometime UGC net is asked who gave the concept of organic and superorganic culture. Organic and superorganic culture. Organic and superorganic culture. This concept is given by this. Okay, and sometimes we let's see the book chronology. Anthropology was first book. Handbook of Indian. Culture and natural area. Configuration of culture, very important book. Configuration of culture, very important book. He wrote in 1944. And the nature of culture, and so many books he wrote, but these are very important books. Okay, if you like it this video, please like and subscribe this channel for upcoming video, and thanks for watching, friends.